So let's review color schemes. We learned about this in our previous weeks that we've been working with color. So a color scheme we know is a group of colors that are purposefully put together. This week we're going to work with warm colors. Last week we worked with cool colors primarily, now we're going to work with warm. On this color wheel you'll see all the warm colors highlighted. Okay, red, orange, and so forth. Okay, of course these colors make up all of these warm colors, and that goes for all the colors that go in between on the color wheel. Okay, warm colors are vivid, they're energetic, and they advance in space. As you see here, we have our warm colored sunset photo. We have fall, the leaves turn orange, which is a warm color, and then we have fire, which is very energetic, right? And very, very attention grabbing. Hi there, boys and girls. So let's go ahead and get started with today's lesson. So what you'll be needing, of course, is what you had seen earlier. You're going to need a piece of paper. You're going to need, if you notice, the colored pencils are warm colored. You're going to need some warm colored pencils. You're going to need a pencil, an eraser if you need it, and a black marker. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take the things I had shown you and put them aside for now. And I'm going to have my piece of paper in front of me. So with this piece of paper, I'm going to go ahead and show you what you need to do. Okay, this is a regular piece of copy paper, of white paper, right? I'm going to go ahead and take it, make sure and have it in what I call landscape mode, right? This is landscape and this is portrait. I'm going to go ahead and make sure we have it in landscape for this step right here. I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half. Okay, I'm going to fold it in half so you can see what I'm going to do. Okay, fold it in half, make a nice crease, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it right here. So I'm going to go ahead and use a pair of scissors. You can just go ahead and make a really, really nice crease and tear the page apart. And you should be able to get it to be cut in half. Of course, sometimes this will happen. That just means you need to be a little more careful when you're taking apart the page. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and take a pair of scissors and cut right down the middle. Just like that. Okay, so now I'm left with two pieces of paper. I'm going to take one and put it aside. I can use this for practice. I can use this for any other little project that I want to work on my own. And I'm going to take it and put it aside. Okay, so now I'm left with one piece of paper. Okay, now we can say if it's in landscape or in portrait mode. Now we need it in portrait mode. Okay, just like this. All right, and take my pencil and I'm going to have my eraser on standby in case I need it. Okay, let's go ahead and begin with our drawing. Now, for drawing purposes, to have you be able to see what we're doing, I'm using a lot more pressure on the pencil. Again, so you can see what I'm doing and you're able to tell where my lines are. You, as an artist, are supposed to be pressing very lightly on this pencil to make a very light sketch, okay? Remember, when you sketch, you're sketching lightly, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Make a nice horizontal line. Remember what a horizontal line is? It's a line that goes across my page, just like this, just across. So I'm going to make a horizontal line. Okay, and make it a little darker for you to see. There's my horizontal line. And now I'm going to make what I call organic shapes. I'm going to make some little mountains or hills. They're a little bumpy and rocky. So I'm going to make them just like this, nice and lumpy, but they're still beautiful. Okay. Here's my hills, or my mountains. And my next step is to draw a small circle here in the center, because because we're making a sunset drawing. Remember that. We're making a sunset drawing. So I'm going to make a nice little circle here in the middle, and that's what it's going to look like. I'm going to do it a little darker so you can see. Okay, there's my circle. And now my next step is to draw a tree. Now, if you saw the example at the very beginning of the video, the tree doesn't have a lot of detail in terms of the colors that we use. It's just black, right? It's kind of like the silhouette of the tree. So we're going to go ahead and start off by drawing the tree. We're going to make a nice curved line, just like this. A curved line. And I'm going to make some grass. Come up. Okay. Watch how I'm making the grass. I can just make it nice and comfy and go back and make little blades of grass, right? When we have bodies of water, there's all kinds of plant life around it. Most of the time, there's grass, right? Long blades of grass and cattails and all of those different little things. So you can add as many details as you'd like. All right, let's go ahead and continue the tree. So I made my grass, my grassy area. I made my tree. Look how it connects with my grassy area. Okay, and now I'm going to make the branches of the tree. So the branches are rather jagged, right? And then they come to a little point. Okay, and then when we have branches, sometimes we have another branch that comes out of it, right? And I'm going to come back to the tree. And then I'm going to make another branch. I'm going to go up, come back down, make a little twig, come back in, and you're going to see me making all kinds of little branches. Notice how I kind of lose the chance to make more details over here because my space is getting smaller, and that's what will happen. But there's my tree. That's what it looks like. Those are my branches. You can add the branches however you'd like, but this is how it'll look. Okay. Now, my last step is to make the shadow of my little mountains here. And I'm going to do this very lightly, so just be, let's pay attention a little closer to see what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm going to make the reflection of the little mountains or the little hills I have here, okay, because the sun is here, it's hitting this surface and it's creating a shadow here. So I'm going to make a really light little line that looks like it's the reflection, right? It's the reflection of this hill here, because this is going to be a body of water, okay? This is going to be water. So, mountain, reflection of this, and that's how it should look. Okay, I drew it very lightly. Okay, so here's my drawing. I'm done with my drawing. I'm going to take this and put it away. Okay. And I'm going to leave my pencil off to the side because now I'm ready to color. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to the coloring portion. Sorry, everyone. Let's go ahead and get to the coloring portion of this. Okay, you're going to need your black marker and your warm colored pencils. So I'm going to put this to the side because I'm going to show you a quick little demo of how you'll be coloring your sunset. Now, if you look here, this is what your sunset will look like. Let's go ahead and make some observations. So let's look at what we have here. We have our colors, right? And I see that my colors go from darker to lighter. And the same goes here, right? It's pretty light here in the center. Let's take a guess as to why. It's because the sun is reflecting, right? It's light onto the water. So it's making that area really bright because there's nothing blocking. There's nothing to cast a shadow of, right? It's just the light. So right here is lighter than everything else. Okay. Look at my mountains. I colored them red. And look at the shadow, how it kind of like eases its way into the yellow Okay, so I'm doing some blending here with my colored pencils. And I use these colored pencils for this drawing, okay? I use these. All right. But notice how it's kind of lighter here in the middle. We have a little shadow here. And the rest is like a nice yellow, okay? In the sky again, darker to lighter, okay? So I use this for that area. And then for the tree and the grassy area, right? I used a black marker so I can make this stand out from everything else. And it looks kind of like a silhouette of my tree and grass, okay? And then look at the sun. I didn't color the sun in at all. I left it as it was, okay? And that's how it should look. Okay, I didn't color in my sun because it's so bright, right? And it looks like everything else in the surrounding is just these nice warm tones, okay? And colors. So that's how you will color this. I'm gonna take my page here. Remember that page I said you could use to practice? Now this is a nice chance for you to use that page. If you don't want to, that is your decision as an artist. But I do suggest this step just to help you practice a little bit. You're gonna notice I have some practice here already that I have done. Okay, so we're starting off with our darker color. Let's remember that. You may only have red, orange, and yellow. You can use those too, and I'll show you how. Okay, so I have this nice dark red, okay. In the Crayola pack, it's called, let's see, it's called mahogany, okay. And then I have this red right here. Look at the color I made, okay. I'm gonna start off with a red right below it, okay. Nice and colorful, but watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start going up into the mahogany, or that darker red, and filling it in so I can blend it. Okay. I look like I could add a little more on top of this one so I can blend it more. There's some blending getting done. All right, now moving on to my orange. I'm gonna do my orange right below the red. Okay, and then I'm gonna go into the red so I can get some nice blending done there. Need to blend it a little more, so I'll come back with a red and go on top of the orange a little bit. So I can look like I'm blending it more. And then I'm gonna take my nice yellow orange and blend. And then I found a lighter yellow that I had in my color pencil pack. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that too. And there we go. See how it kind of like gradually goes into the other color? That's what you'll be doing, okay? You'll be doing that here. So as always in the colored portion, I'm gonna go a little bit quicker with my coloring and filling in. Of course, if you need to, there is a setting on YouTube that allows you to slow down that portion of the video or the whole video entirely so you can see what I'm doing at your own pace, okay? And that's the playback speed that you can change. So you can go ahead and change that if you need to in that section, or of course, just pause it and go from there, okay? Pause as many times as you need. So let's go ahead and color together. All right, boys and girls, so we're all done. This is what your drawing should look like at the end of it. remember, you're using colored pencils. If you don't have colored pencils, you can use crayons. Those do work as well to blend with each other, but of course, if you have colored pencils, use those. Okay, this is what it should look like. We have our tree branch and our grassy area, which is colored in with the black, and then I colored in my drawing with my darker colors first, my darker warm colors, and they go all the way to light. Okay, my mountains or my hilly area, that is a nice dark red, so it can stand out. Okay, and then their shadow is orangey, right, an orangey tone, and then we have our watery area. So again, this is the finished product of your work, and you've heard me already discuss here at the end of our video the steps I took to get to where I was and the colors that you can and can't use. Okay, if you want to challenge yourself and use paints, I challenge you to use paint if you have it available, and if you do not, that is okay. These supplies work very well and also help you understand, right, how to get and transition from a darker color to a lighter one. Okay, make sure that you take a great picture of your work. Make sure it's flat on your table and that you're high above with your camera or whatever device you're using to take a photo with. Okay, again, photos with things around it make it a little hard for me to crop out your photo if I'm trying to save it and put it somewhere, and also it makes it hard for me to see what you have on your page. Okay, sometimes I'll see people's work and there's erasers and markers all over it, and we want to keep it nice and clear of anything, even right our hands. We don't want to be covering it. We want to have it on a flat surface and we take a really nice photo so I can see it well. Okay, when you're all done, remember to please upload this to Google Classroom. This is your last week before the holiday vacations, so make sure that you get your work done on time. I would like for you to use these next few days or the next couple days that we're here to work on your assignments and make sure you turn them all in. If you are missing anything or anything you turned in was blank, that way you can spend your holiday at home without any schoolwork to worry about, and you can enjoy your time. Okay, all right, that is it for this week. I will see you all when we come back for the new year. Bye.